Hi guys, Papa K here. Okay, this is going to be a serious video. It's not a review. What I'm going to do is, a lot of people sort of querying regarding temperature control and nickel builds. What I'm going to do is show you the perfect nickel build that I put in my drippers for my devices. Basically, what I do is this little screw is out of a light switch or a plug socket. 3mm diameter, fine thread, and you'll see it in the close-up. I use 0.2mm ni200, so this stuff is like thread. I mean, it's really, really fine. I can actually get it out there. Really, I mean, really fine thread. No, it's fine Ni wire. It's 0.2mm. So you got to be really careful with this stuff because it's extremely soft, and when you're tightening the screws it will snap. But I find 2 coils, 12 wraps each round this thread, because you wrap it around the thread, gives you the perfectly spaced coil, then unscrew it, take it out. It works out at 0.2 ohms, thereabout, and at 51 watts you get a coefficient of like 0.31 watts millimeter squared. So it's in the green. If you look at your apps and your phones and stuff, you get a nice green range for your coefficiency. So we'll go down, I will do this nickel build for you. I'm just going to use my old Mephisto. And yeah, so I hope you find this build useful. So we'll go down and have a look. Okay guys, we're going to take our 0.2mm ni200 wire and we're going to wrap it around the threads of this 3mm light fitting, plug fitting screw. I've been using these screws now for some time to build my nickel builds, to get that perfectly sort of spaced out standard coil. I've had no problems using this sort of setup, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to share it with you. So I'm going to do 12 wraps here on this screw. Just be very careful with this wire because it's extremely thin, very springy, and a bit fragile. As you can see behind my hand, there's lots of bits of wire sitting there because this wasn't my first build. Well, not my first build for this video. Right, just going to straighten these legs up and make sure they're pointing the same way before we put them into the RDA. There we go. Right, here we've got the Mephisto, just a basic standard Mephisto version 1, and I'm going to put the wires into the posts. Maybe I should have trimmed them first. There we go. Because of the fragility of the coils using this wire, it's very useful keeping them on the screw to support the coil and for placing it to the RDA deck. Right, we'll just seat this in the RDA like so. Try and get it as straight as possible so it's straight on with the center post. Just tighten it up a little bit, but don't want to over tighten it because these screws will just go straight through the wire. I mean, literally, they will guillotine the ni200 wire. I'm using the flat of the screwdriver just to straighten the wire legs into the posts, like so, because as you see, when you tighten it up, the coil tends to rise up. I'm just making sure that it's straight, and now we're going to pop off one of the wires. Just nip it down. Now carefully unscrew the screw from the coil. Now I have used screws in the past before where the threads weren't very good and it completely chewed up the coil as I was unscrewing it. So yeah, if you're going to use this process, make sure you find a screw that's got nice clean threads. Here we go. And you can see the coil starting to appear from the end of the screw. There we go. With our nicely spaced coils. How's that? Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, on to our second coil. Again, same again, we're going to do 10 wraps around the same screw. Make sure you get the wire into each individual thread as you're wrapping it round. Here we go. I am hoping to get a 0.2 ohm resistance nickel buld dual coil. I know that some people I've spoken to have actually used this thickness of wire and built twisted single coils, and basically they're getting 0.2 ohms as well with the twisted 0.2 millimeters, which works out at 32 AWG. I know that everybody nowadays is using the Coil Masters or the Kuro coilers, but I still like using my old coil jig. I've had that, gosh, about 16 months now I've had that coil jig. Trimming the legs. And we'll carefully pop this second coil into the Mephisto next to the original coil. There we go. Oops. There wasn't enough space for the coil to go through it. Just popping the legs through it. Oops. And again, we want to try and get the coil as central as possible in the RDA deck. I'm fighting for my screwdriver again, sorry. Just nip it up so that we can push the coil over to the centre. Again, not too tight, just wait for that resistance to touch the wire. A good thing if you're doing the twisted coils, they're a bit more resistant to tightening the screws down. You know, they're stronger. There we go. Just straightening it up. Try to get it parallel with the other coil. You know, this isn't going to work. I'm going to have to cut this wire, I think. Yeah, be really careful. Just you're probably best cutting the wire. Don't do this because it will snap the wires. Yeah, I had to use a pair of nail clippers to cut that wire because it was making a mess of the coil. But there you go. You can see the two finished 12 wrap ni200 0.2mm coils. So let's pop it onto the Tesla 120 watt TC. Let's see what the resistance is going to be. I'm hoping for 0.12. No, sorry, 0.2. And it is, let's see, 0.19. There we go. I'm quite happy with that. Very happy with that. Right, now we're going to wick your coils up. I'm cutting 3 to 4mm wide Muji Japanese cotton. There we go. Roll and wrap the cotton as tight as you can get it, because these coils are very fragile and you want to get your cotton as tight as you can get it. Then once you get it into the holes of the coil and unwrap it, and once you get juice onto it, it's going to expand. It will expand into the spaces of the standard coil. There we go, like so. Just very careful. You can see that the coils are shifting just with slight pressure. Give it a little twist. Here we go. You just want slight resistance on that cotton when it's in the coil. On to the next wick. Again, push it through very carefully. Keep twisting it. Go with the threads of the coil, the way that the coils are spun. Try and go that way when you're putting your cotton in, so you get least resistance on the coil. I've got a bit of fluffy bit sticking out my coil. I'll just wick better. There we go. What do you think of that? Time to get them trimmed. Bang! Oops. Spring was too powerful on my multi-tool. Just trimming these down. And then once we've trimmed them down, what I'll do is use a flat of a screwdriver and push the cotton into the juice well of the RDA. The reason I'm using the Mephisto version 1 is because it's a very easy deck to build on with the size of the screws. But you can, because of the size of these coils, because the wire's so thin, you could probably get away with putting this in a numerous number of RDA rebuildable styles. Because even though that's 12 wraps, it's quite a small coil because the wire's so thin. Now carefully, without disturbing the coils and focusing the camera, push the cotton underneath the coils into the juice well, like so. There's one. I really need to get that RDA into an ultrasonic cleaner. The deck's disgusting. It has been cleaned, scrubbed, but I think with the light that's on it, you can see the stains in the stainless. Just raise that coil up a bit so it's the same height as the other one. There we go. Lovely. There you go. That's our 12 wrap dual ni200 0.2mm build. Right, let's pop this onto the Tesla again. We're going to do a dry burn and see if the temperature control works. I've got it set at 120 degrees centigrade. Completely dry, no juice. Let's hit that switch. Straight into temperature protect. No singeing, no burning. I've got no disgusting smell. Very clean. Yep. Temperature control is working well on the Tesla. Okay. Job done.
Okay guys, I hope you found that build really useful. Using the screw out of a light switch or plug, I find it really easy to get the perfectly spaced coils, nice diameter, get them into the holes in the posts. And yeah, so we've now got it done. It's finished. £50. Nice. I've got it set at 220 degrees Fahrenheit. 220 degrees centigrade. I like to use centigrade. So let's see how it performs. Absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. Okay, it does look a bit fiddly, but hopefully if you watch the build and copy what I did, you might find it easier to build your own temperature nickel builds and get a nice vape. You know, 50 watts, 220 degrees centigrade. The flavour is absolutely stunning and good vapour production. Really nice. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Hope you found it useful. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you later. See yous.